man, it's not as hot as it was last night. Okay, let's get out of here, man. Man, it's heating up, man. It's getting hot out here in these streets. But I guess it's a good thing, man. You feel what I'm saying? It ain't super cold at night. That's why the Duckies are back, man. The Duckies are back. I knew she was gonna leave. She left. This female I was talking to. Some women are picky as fuck, bro. You know, some women. Before I get into what I really want to talk about, is Sunshine Shoulders. But some women, you know, they won't even get with you, even though you have a lot of money, and they end up being like old and alone and shit. And like, man, this man came along. He tried to save your ass from being old and alone, and you just turned him down for no apparent reason. You know, I'm like, some women rather be by themselves than be with who they want to be with. You feel what I'm saying? Itself is a little seven working tonight. I saw her earlier. I saw little seven and her little boyfriend that works there. I'm like, bro, you are making a huge mistake. You are getting with a woman where you work. Man, that's a rookie mistake. Where little seven at? Like me, if I got with little seven, right, at least I can switch Starbucks and go to a different Starbucks. This nigga, he young. You know, he'll understand that real quick. You know, you don't shit where you eat. Nah, little seven ain't working tonight. She went home or some shit like that. But yeah, she ain't working tonight. I thought she was here tonight. Shit. Little seven. I think she got with that guy. I guess he kept knocking at the door, being persistent. You feel what I'm saying? I think they're boyfriend and girlfriend. You know, the guy that was trying to hit on her before, the guy that was a 5 or a 6 in looks. I think he was like a 6. And little 7, I guess she got with him or something. I don't know, man. They could have got something going on. I seen them together coming into Starbucks. Little 7 was looking scrumptious, you feel what I'm saying? And they were together, they were dressed up. So I guess he really got with her. But bro, like, that's a rookie mistake, is to get with a female that where you work at. Because something goes wrong, you got to look at her every single day. You feel what I'm saying? And I know little 7 is, she's tempting and shit, but you can't like shit where you eat, bro. You can't get with a woman on your work. That's a rookie mistake. He young. He like 20 years old, man. He'll understand.
Wait.
That you don't like get with a female that's, you don't get with a female that's at your work. That's something that you do not do. Anyway, I want to talk about Sunshine Shoulders back in the Philippines, because I follow this guy, right? And let me tell you something. This nigga is happy as hell. He get to have sex with a younger female in her 30s. Because Sunshine Shoulders, he like almost 60. Matter of fact, I think he's 60. Yeah, Sunshine Shoulders is 60. And this woman is like 37 or something like that. He back in the Philippines where he can have sex. Because in America, once you hit a certain age, once you surpass a certain age, your life is over with young females unless you got money and status. See, it don't affect you. You know what I'm saying? It don't affect you when you're young. And it doesn't affect you. It doesn't affect you when you're older and you have a lot of money. So if you get to be 40, 50 years old and you got a lot of money, you can still continue to date young females. But if you're a guy who ain't got a lot of money and you get over like 30, 35, your life is over with young females. For real. I haven't had a young girlfriend in like I don't know how long. You feel what I'm saying? The women who are mostly attracted to me are women around my age. From like 35 and up. Okay? 35, 37, 38, 39. I get those type of women, bro, because I'm 45, okay? And I can get them younger, but it's, as young as I could get a female, maybe like 37, 38, you feel what I'm saying? That's as young as I could get them. And I'll get lucky if I can get a 35-year-old that's 10 years younger, okay? But once you get surpassed a certain age, as a male, as a man, okay? Once you surpass a certain age, your life is over with young females. It is. They don't want a guy that's over 30. Women who are 22, 23 years old, man, good luck. You ain't gonna get that. Unless, like, maybe you shredded or you buff or something like that, then I could say, yeah. Even then, if you shredded or buff, it's just gonna be a difficult task for you. You fucking with women that's around your age, man. That's the only thing you can deal with. Like out here, I see like men with women around their age, man. I see dudes who are like in their 50s with females in their 50s. I see dudes in their 40s with women that's in their 40s. Hell, when I was dating before the pandemic started, or right when the pandemic had started, I was dating a fat chick around my age. I was. She was like a year older than me though. Them youngster women, bro, they're not checking for you, bro. You feel what I'm saying? You can lift all the weights you can. You can be buff, low percentage body fat. Most of them are not checking for you. And Sunshine Shoulders, he's over there getting sex again, and he should. Because America is all about looks and money and youth and how old you are as a man. You know what I'm saying? America's all about youth, money, status. You get a certain age, all of a sudden your life is over with young females. You get past 35 years old, all of a sudden your life is over with young women, man. I remember I told you niggas what happened to me when I was having sex with this youngin' back when I was like 32 years old. She was like, oh, don't try that grandpa shit on me. Come on. Do it right now. And I was like, what? She called me grandpa in the middle of sex. I never would forget that, bro. You feel me what I'm saying? Just going disrespect me just like that. Call me a grandpa. You guys, how many times have I told this story over and over again? The reason why I keep saying it over and over again, the reason why I keep telling the same story over and over again is because that shit echoed throughout my memory throughout the years. And I don't forget it, man. I don't forget stuff like that. And, you know, because you're like, God damn, I'm getting old in these streets. Now, when I was 32, I was still good looking, man. I'm still, you know, I still attract women in their 20s and shit. That's why she was sleeping with me. She saw a guy that was a little bit older. He still looked good. And she said, fuck it, I'm gonna fuck him. Because he still looked good. He's 32 years old. And I'm gonna fuck him good. You know what I'm saying? She wouldn't have been at the hotel with me if she wasn't attracted to me. And she was like in her early 20s. And I was in my early 30s. 10 years younger. You know, she was 10 years younger than me. You know, but I see where a lot of guys are coming from, man. As you get older, without money, without status and stuff like that, you become a lost cause in the dating market when it comes to young women in their 20s. You just that old guy, basically. You feel what I'm saying? Now you're old. Now you're 45. Now you just basically a sugar daddy after a certain age. You do. If you ain't got no sugar, you ain't gonna get no sugar baby, man. That's why I say, you guys, if you want to continue to date young females throughout your life, you better be hustling and bustling and getting that money on. Feel me? I need, you know what I need? I want some noodles. We going right back to like I'm going back to no, I want some fucking noodles right now, bro. I'm going back over here real quick. I want some motherfucking noodles right now. I want some noodles, biatch. You know, anyway, so Sunshine Shoulders is back in the Philippines. And I don't blame him, bro. Like, moving over to a country where he can get sex on the regular from younger females, I don't blame him. You know what? Because I'm feeling it, okay? I haven't had a young female in her 20s in years. The last time I went on a date with a young female, I was in my late 30s. You guys remember I dated the young Asian chick that was around 19 years old. And nigga, at the time, I was juicing. I was on steroids. So I had to get on steroids just so I could get a young female at that point. I had to be, you know, pumping steroids into my arm. Because that's where I used to put it. I used to put it in my arm, then I used to put it in my butt. You know, my butt on my arm. That's where I went. And it took me some steroids. It took me to be on some steroids just so I could get a young female. Because the steroids bring your body fat percentage down low. It makes you look young. You feel what I'm saying? But I feel them. I ain't gonna say, yeah, Sunshine Shoulders, what you doing over there, bruh? What you doing, man? Nah, I can see it. I can understand where he's coming from, bro. He's 60. And I tell you, man, as we get older, it don't matter how old we get, bro. We still need sex as men. Even as a 59, 60-year-old dude, you still need to have sex. Us men need to have sex until the day that we die. And a lot of us are not attracted to women around our age. We're not. You feel what I'm saying? We're not attracted to women around our age. We are more attracted to young females, 10, 15 years younger than us. Some of the motherfuckers, they go out there, they get a female that's 20%. What am I saying? 20%. 20 years younger. I don't know why I said 20%. But 20%. Oh, I said it again. 20 years younger, man. Some guys go out there, they get the youngest, man, because they look better. I told you this before. Young females look better than older women, but at the same time, you got to understand when you're going after young females, it's a seesaw effect. You might get young females, but you won't get nothing real. Okay? When you get a woman around your age, you'll get a woman that's real. You feel what I'm saying? And you'll be able to grow old with somebody, when you get with an older female. That's the good thing about being with older women, is that they're not there for your money, they're there for you. If I get a female that's average looking and she around 40 years old, it'll be more real, versus getting with a young, hot tenderoni that just want me just for my money, and we won't be able to grow old together because she's young, and by the time she gets to be older in her 20s or 30s, I'll be in a nursery home and shit. That's the bad thing about being with young females, is like they stay young, and while you getting old, you get more old and she getting young. She's still young. She is after you for your bread. But if the good thing about being with women that's 5 years younger than you or 10 years younger than you, you get to grow old together. You feel what I'm saying? But most of the time when dudes get resources, that's not the case. They don't check for women around their age, man. You feel what I'm saying? I always look on the brighter side of things, bro. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I look at older women around my age more suitable. We got a lot more common, right? There's a lot of good perks, in a bright side that comes with dating women around your age. It's like you got more in common. You're more likely to grow old together. It's a seesaw effect. You feel what I'm saying? You get with older women, they won't look as good. You get with younger women, they young, they fertile, they soft. Their skin is soft. They got good skin. Beautiful skin, they're beautiful. And it's kind of hard to resist these type of women when you get the bag. You feel what I'm saying? And I'm still attracted to women around my age. I am. I look at 40-year-old females, man. Especially if you could tell that they was looking good in their 20s and then just got older or whatever. I still look at 40-something-year-old women, bro. But let's go back to Sunshine Shoulders. Sunshine Shoulders came back to America, and he was feeling it, bro. Because when he came back to America, these young females in their 30s wasn't checking for him, bro. So he was alone when he came back here. When he was in the Philippines, he was getting laid on the regular by females who were 25 years younger than him. You feel what I'm saying? So he back in the Philippines, and I know he's happy because damn, I finally get to get laid, god damn it. Fuck. You feel what I'm saying? Because women, if you get past, like I said, man, once you get past like 35 years old, they don't want to have nothing to do with you. I started to struggle more with young females. Once I surpassed like 35, they didn't want to have nothing to do with me. When I got to be 37, 38, man, I had to be on steroids to get with a young female, bro. I had to drop my body fat percentage down to like 0% just so I could be with a young female. Had to be on diets, eating like one meal a day and shit, just suffer just so I could get a young female. And I was pulling them. I was 37, 38, somewhere around there, using steroids. Hella buff at the time because those steroids, man, they make you more buff, bro. They make you look like fucking shredded. You big and at the same time you shredded. You know what I'm saying? You don't get up in weight and then lose your cuts like you do naturally. When you're on that shit, you could get size and be shredded like Rambo. You feel what I'm saying? Or like Rocky Balboa or some shit like that. You feel what I'm saying? You just be big and shredded at the same time. But it's a seesaw effect with everything that you do, bro. That's just the way life is, bro. Like, you create something, there's gonna be a upside and a downside to it. You create dating apps, okay, there's gonna be an upside and downside to that. You create social media, there's gonna be an upside and a downside to that. So everything that's created, bro, has a seesaw effect. It's gonna go up and down. You're gonna have some perks and everything that's good that come with it. But there's gonna be some bad things that's gonna be about it. You feel what I'm saying? So Sunshine Shoulders back in the Philippines, getting laid on a regular, and I don't blame them, bro. I don't blame them, because young females, they look at you sideways once you hit a certain age. They really fucking do, bro. That's the honest truth right there, bro. That's on the real. That's on the goddamn real. Young females don't see you as cool anymore. They see you as, you're 40, you're 45, that's old. That's so goddamn old. But then the only things that, you can do is get with females that's around your age. And there's a better fit, for a lot of dudes. They don't have to worry about, a young female just liking them for their money. If I get with a female that's around 40, I know it's going to be more about real. Usher married a 40-year-old woman just recently. You know what I'm saying? When he was at the Super Bowl. I checked out the age of the woman and everything. The woman around 40, man. It's going to be more real. I guess a lot of guys, they're looking for the real connection with a woman around that age. And there's nothing wrong with that. Because you want something real. You want somebody that really cares about you. You don't want a female that's all about your money, man. I want some noodles, bro. You feel me? I want some noodles. I want some fucking noodles. Oh, okay, hot water. Okay, good. We got some hot water. I want some noodles in this motherfucker. What's up with it? That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
$4. Pero sabes también que me he dado cuenta en esos que
Thank you. Have a good night, sis.
que los cajeros son solo mujeres primero y segundo. Pero también puede haber hombres.
You know, they see you as old and shit after a certain age, man. And we can't do nothing about it because time keeps going by and you keep getting older and older. You feel what I'm saying? And the older you get, the harder it's gonna get for you to get a young female in her 20s. That's what my homeboy said a while back. I think I was like around 30, and I was like, God damn, it's getting hard to get them young females. He was like, yeah, as you get older, it gets harder and harder, bro. You feel what I was like, he said, as you get older, every year that goes by, he said, it's gonna get harder. Now I'm feeling what he was saying. Because these young females, they don't have you they don't have you on their radar unless like you get a young female and she's below your looks level. You know, maybe you got better genes, even though you older than her, you got better genes than her. Because just because a female is young, it don't mean that she's beautiful. You feel what I'm saying? There are women in their 40s that look better than females in their 20s because of genetics. You feel what I'm saying? The only way they check for you in their 20s if you are above them in looks. That's the only way that these females will check for you. Are you above them? Do you have better genes than them? Right? So this female in Starbucks, she in her 20s, but she's below me in looks when it comes to the face. Now, below the waist, she got a nice body frame. She got a nice big ass on her. But when it comes to facial genetics, I'm above her, even though I'm 20 years older than her, or whatever, or maybe 15 years younger. 15 years older. I'm about 15 years older, or maybe like 12 years older, because I think she's in her late 20s. Okay, she's married and shit. She don't look like she's like in her early 20s. She look like about 27, 28. Okay. She checks with me because she's below me in looks. That's the only way a young female can check for you. You know what I'm saying? Nowadays, you have to be above her in looks. Okay? There's plenty of females, you know, just because she's fucking like young. What's up with it? You know, just because she's young, it don't mean that I'm gonna pick her over Nicki Minaj. I will fuck Nicki Minaj over the young female in Starbucks that's younger. You know, because Nicki Minaj got better genetics. She fine as fuck. You feel what I'm saying? So I'll fuck her over her because Nicki Minaj got better genetics than her. But the only way you can get a young female nowadays, man, she gotta be below your looks level. You feel what I'm saying? I'm about to eat these noodles right in front of me. And right in front of y'all. I'm gonna eat these noodles. They look at you like, man, he old. He ain't. It don't matter how much like body fat percentage you lose too, man. Like they still see you as old. He like 40. I'm like 25 or something like that, or maybe 22. You know what I'm saying? He old. Until you got a lot of money, then all of a sudden, your age ain't nothing but a number to these young females. You feel what I'm saying? All of a sudden, when you get a lot of money, all of a sudden, age ain't nothing but a number, and They want to get with you and shit like that. Let me tell you something, man. All these relationships that older men are in with younger females, it's all transactional, bro. It's not real. The female that Shannon Sharpe was with, bro, that was a transactional relationship. None of that was real. It was not real. Okay? No way in the world he'll be able to, there's no way in the world that he'll be able to pull a young female that's 20 something years old and being 50, 56 or 57 years old. There's no way in the world you could pull a young female like that unless you got money and status. That's the only way you'll be able to do that. You feel what I'm saying? After you surpass, once you surpass like 30, you almost getting young females in my 30s. You feel what I'm saying? Once I hit 30, all of a sudden there was a problem. All of a sudden I started struggling to get young females. Especially after I hit 35, man. After 35, man. After 35, it was a wrap. I remember just struggling a lot more every year that went by, man. This shit is spicy as hell. Oh, these noodles are so good. That's what I'm saying. Like, now I see, Sunshine Shoulders. He got no choice but to go overseas, man. That's the only way he can get a young female for a cheaper price. He don't have to self-improve to a millionaire to get a young female in the Philippines. They don't care too much about age out there. You feel what I'm saying? That's one thing about these females in America. They care about age, man. They only care about age unless you got a lot of money. Then age doesn't matter. You got a lot of money as an older man, age don't matter. Look at Sugar Daddy. He with a female in her 30s. The guy that comes into like Starbucks, I haven't seen them lately. I guess they disappeared or they went on vacation or something. I think they went on vacation, man, because I haven't seen them. Look at Sugar Daddy, man. He like 60 something years old, bro, and she's like in her 30s, bro. Okay, you think he would have been able to pull that female, without his money, him driving a Porsche and a Corvette? You think he'll be able to pull that female? No, because after a while, they see you as an old man. You get to be 30 something years old, they see you as an old man. Oh, that shit is spicy. I put too much in there. Oh, that shit is fucking spicy. After a certain age, and I don't really talk about this too much, but with young females, once you hit 30, it gets harder and harder after age 30. Like every year that goes by, it gets harder and harder to get a young female. You feel what I'm saying? So I see where he's coming from. He said, shit, man, I'm going overseas where they don't care about age so much. He like, I'm going to the Philippines, back to the Philippines, where I can get laid on the regular without them tripping about age. I guess this woman is around 37 or something like that, and he around 60. So, you know, that's young to him. You feel what I'm saying? Sunshine shoulders. That's young to him, bro. Like me, a 30-year-old female is young to me, bro. That's like 15 years younger. That'll be a sweet spot for me. To be with a 30-year-old woman, bro, that's young to me. I definitely would take a 30-year-old female. You know what I'm saying? Only in the U.S., you know, only in the U.S. where people trip about age so much. They trip about age, and age, it's like it's so important to them, especially females. Age means a lot to them. You go overseas, man, age don't mean a whole lot to them. It's all about your wallet. But over here, man, in America, they trip off your age really, really badly. Oh my God. These noodles are good, man. You know what I'm saying? And you still want those young females, man. I don't care what nobody say, bro. As you get older, you still like women that are younger than you. At least 15 years younger. Women who are 10 to 15 years younger, you still want that. Like a 35-year-old female would be good too, man. As long as she ain't got no trauma, or she got a bunch of like baby daddies everywhere, a 35-year-old female will be good for me. You know? This shit. Ooh. It went down the wrong pipe. Ooh, let me get some water. Oh. Woo! My God. This spicy noodles, man. They ain't no fucking joke. Oh, this fucking shit is spicy as hell. Ugh. And like I said, some of you guys are younger, maybe you're in your 30s and stuff, and you don't understand yet. You know, I had a subscriber, he was trying to say like, okay, why is a 60-year-old man dealing with a 20-something-year-old woman? Why is a 50-something-year-old man dealing with a 25-year-old woman or a 20-year-old woman? You guys gotta understand, as you get older, you never stop liking young females. The only reason why I do stop messing with young females because females stop messing with them. Young females stop messing with them. You got a cutoff date when it comes to females, man. You only could deal with young women. You know, my lips are all spicy. You can only deal with young females until a certain age. That's why I say, man, get your bread while you're young, so you can never stop dating young females in their 20s. You feel what I'm saying? If you get past like 30 or 35, you ain't got no money. You're gonna feel the crunch from young females. You feel what I'm saying? You're gonna feel the crunch. You feel the traffic of they're gonna slow down. The traffic of young females will slow down after a certain age. You be like, God damn, I ain't getting as many young females as I used to. What happened? Like, nigga, you got over 30. That's what happens. Oh my God. Oh, that spicy soup is cool. Let me drink some water because my lips and my tongue is on fire. This is the way it is, guys. It's just like Mother Nature, in this life that you leave, this life that you live in, you start getting old. And as you get older, you're still checking for younger females, but then they still ain't checking for you unless you got your wallet on point. Little 7, she won't even look at me. She won't even have a conversation with me. Little 7. You know what I'm saying? But she'll talk to a dude that's around her age. She'll get with that dude. But a nigga like me that's 45, she ain't getting with me at all. It don't matter how much I'm in shape. It don't matter how much my body fat percentage is like low. You'll still get a few females that's young, but you ain't gonna get a attractive young hot female unless you got somebody. Younger females naturally are not checking for you. Now I see why dudes go overseas, so they can get laid for cheap. Look, Sunshine Shoulders came over here, bro, and he was going through it. He couldn't get a young female in her 30s, even if his life depended on it. Too old for them. But the moment he got back to like Thailand, he was able to get access to sex. And a lot of you females, you shame a lot of guys for going overseas, these passport bros or whatever. And I'm not a passport bro, don't get me wrong. I still think passport bros are running away from self-improvement. But what I'm saying is, I can see why they're going overseas. To get sex. You females are here. Women can get sex anytime they feel like it. They don't have any struggle getting sex. So they become picky and choosy because they got so many options. They got so many men that wanna lay down with them. Us men, we don't have that options. You don't have options. So what they do is dudes are like, okay, well, I really don't want to self-improve into a millionaire or a thousandaire making 500 grand a year, 10, $1 million a year. I really don't want to self-improve that much. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna save up some money, you know, get a passport. That way, you know, it'll be a lot easier for me to travel overseas to get some pussy. Because a lot of you young females, you trip about age. Matter of fact, not just young females, but women in general. They trip about your age. You're 15, 20 years younger, you are a last of the Mohican. You are old to them. That's too old. You get to be 40 years old, bro. That's too old for a lot of women in their 20s. You know what I'm saying? Unless the female is like below your looks level in her 20s. Like if she's unattractive, like a female that's in her 20s, she's unattractive, and you're a good looking dude for your 40s and shit, you work out, your body's in shape, then I can see, yeah, you're getting a female that's, you know, facially, she's facially, what they call it, inferior. Okay, she's facially inferior to you, meaning that she doesn't have good genetics. It don't matter if she's fucking young. It don't matter if she's younger than you, 10 years younger, 15 years, 20 years younger than you. She doesn't have the genetics that you have. Even though you older, maybe you like 40 something, you still a good looking dude for your 40s, but she's not pretty at all. She's like a 4. And I can see you pulling something like that. Well, a young female, she's like a 4 in looks, and you're like a 6. You know, that's an older, basically an older 6. You feel what I'm saying? You know, but I can see where these dudes are coming from, going overseas, looking for a woman. You know, they might not want to self-improve into a millionaire. Maybe it might take too goddamn long. Feel what I'm saying? Cause that's what's gonna take nowadays, bro. We talking about if you're a 40-something-year-old man and you trying to hook up with a female that's like 22, 23 years old, your bread gotta be on point. You better achieve something. You better have money. You better have something. You better have a jackpot. You better have some collateral. You better be worth something by the time you get to be 45 years old, trying to hook up with a 25-year-old woman. You feel what I'm saying? That's 20 years younger. You feel what I'm saying? That's just the way America is. Women got so many options, they can afford to be picky. You know, they can X out the guys who are like 40, 50, and 60. They don't want that. They want guys that's closer to their age and shit. Let's get out of here, man. You feel what I'm saying? You know, they'll look at you sideways, you try to step to them, bro. Especially if she's like 18, 19 years old, she gonna look at you sideways. Leonardo DiCaprio would not be having the success that he's having with 19, 20-year-old women if he didn't have money and status, bro. He would be struggling. You feel what I'm saying? Leonardo DiCaprio is older than me. He's like 47 years old, bro. He's dating 19, 20-year-old females. Literally. He's dating 19 and 20-year-old females. He wouldn't be getting the success that he's getting right now with these young females if it wasn't for his money and his status and who he is. Yeah, he was a good-looking dude in his prime, but now this motherfucker, he look old now. So that's why he hustled. I can see why niggas hustle. They're like, man, I want to continue to date young females throughout my whole entire life. So while I'm young, I got to make the right decisions and shit so I won't be struggling later. And I see why, man. Let me tell you something. If my music career would have went like I wanted it to go, I wouldn't be here struggling with young females. Like I said, Little 7, She ain't never had a conversation. Me and her ain't never. She never even looked at me not once and be like, "Ooh, he's a good looking older man." She don't. Man, nah. She got options. Little Seven got options, and she ain't looking at me not even once, bro. I'm not even on her radar. She don't even know my name. You know, some of the females up in Starbucks, they know my name, bro. Some of the less attractive women in Starbucks, the below average looking women and the average looking women, they checking for me. They they younger. They in their 20s and stuff, man. You know, and me, Kelcare, I'm not a bad looking dude, man. Even in my 40s. As long as I keep the body fat percentage low, I won't look bad. You know what I'm saying? But the females in Starbucks that are checking for me, they're average looking women, bro. For what I'm saying? They're around my looks level and they're below my looks level, even though they're in their 20s. They see the eye area, you know, they see the hunter eyes I got. That's more superior to theirs. A lot of these females got round eyes. I'm sorry, the ones who are checking for me, bro, their eyes are round. Their eyes are inferior to my hunter eyes. My hunter eyes are intimidating to a lot of men, by the way. I looked it up. I said, let me look up on Google and see how intimidating hunter eyes are. I looked it up and it said, yeah, hunter eyes are very intimidating to other men. That explains why I ain't had a fight in like I don't know how long. You know what I'm saying? Nobody wants to fight me, man. Plus I'm buff. I'm big. I got muscle. And I got hunter eyes. So nobody wants to fight me, man. I ain't had a fight in I don't know how long. No men, all the men out here they're friends with me. You know what I'm saying? You know, we cool. You know, nobody wants to fight me. I intimidate a lot of dudes, man. I am intimidating. When you look at me, you look at my pictures, you see when I frown and stuff, I look intimidating. But like I said, man, back to what I was saying. Hunter eyes is way more superior than women who got round eyes. The female that's in Starbucks, that's in her 20s, she's below my looks level. She's like 22 years old. Oh no, she's more than that. She's like 27. She don't look 22. She look 27, like late 20s. She about late 20s, man, like 27 years old, bro, 28. You know, and she's below my looks level. She's checking for me. She says my name. You guys remember when I was doing the video the other day, and I just turned on the live, right? Because I was just about to make a live video, and I forgot what it was about, but whatever. Once I turned on the live, she passed by from the bathroom and said, "Hi, Kel. Hi, Kel. Hi, Kel. Little Seven don't give a fuck, nigga, what my name is. She don't pass by and say, hi, Kel. Matter of fact, when she passes by, she keep her head down. She don't look at me in the eyes or nothing like that. I am not on her radar whatsoever. I'm not even close, bro. I don't exist to a lot of females in that young females in that Starbucks, okay? I could say like at least 90% I'm invisible to the women in Starbucks, and most of them are young. They're not older. They're young. You know what I'm saying? I say. Let's see, one girl, two girl. Who else calls my name? Call me by my name. One, two. And there's another chick in there that's checking for me. You got the tall Filipina. You got the Hispanic chick with the nice bottom. That's about it, man. I think there's one more. That's about it. Oh yeah. Shorty pants. So you got like shorty pants, you know, short Filipina. She's very short. She has an average looking face, maybe like a 4. She had her, maybe slightly below average. Maybe she put on some makeup, she could work herself up to like a 5 or something like that. But she's slightly below average, shorty pants. Okay, I seen her with no makeup. She's slightly below average. She's in her 20s, maybe like 26, 27. You know, she's the one that's checking for me. And then you got the other chick, the other Filipino chick that's tall. Okay, she's around a 6 without makeup. When she put on makeup, she could doll it up to a 7. But naturally, soaking wet out of the shower. Matter of fact, I'm gonna take it down to a 5. She's an average looking woman, bro, but she's young. She's in her mid-20s. That's what she looked like. These are the women that call my name out. These are the ones who visually who recognize me and call my name. They say my name when they see me. Okay, they give me hi Kel, hi Kel, hi Kel, hi Kel. Always that. You got the other females in there. They'll look at me like they saw a ghost, bro. A lot of them younger females in there, man, they'll look at me like they done saw a ghost. They ain't checking for me at all, bro. You feel what I'm saying? Some of them young females in there, they ain't checking for me at all. But there are some, and they're either around my looks level or they're below my looks level. Never a female that's above me. Like, I consider like Little Seven, she above me, man. Because Kelcat at 45 years old, I ain't no 7. Let's get that straight. If I was a 7, I would have a girlfriend right now. But me, I'm just an average guy, man. If I come down to low percentage body fat, I can work myself to a 6 again. Right now, I consider myself smack in the middle as an average guy, around a 5 to me. I think I'm a 5. I mean, some women, they might think I'm higher than that. Maybe they might be attracted to me. They think I'm higher than a 5. But I consider myself as a 5 because of my age. I ain't no fucking 7 no more, man. Them days are gone, bro. I'm not young anymore. I'm not 25 years old anymore. Can't get away with the same shit that I got away with when I was, in my prime as a young man in his 20s. You feel what I'm saying? And I noticed that they forget about you, man, after a certain age, man. Most women, not all of them, but most of them, they forget about you. So I got 3 women in there. Out of how many women that's in there, bro, that work there, the staff is probably like around 15 people. I got 3 women checking for me in there. Whew. It's time for me to get some sleep. I'm tired. Nobody say nothing in the comment section. What the fuck? Is it glitching? I don't see nobody in the comment section, bro. It might be glitching, huh? Because usually somebody would have came and said something by now. Some of my moderators would have came through and said something. I think this shit is glitching, bro. I might have to start it over. Nobody ain't saying nothing. I've been going on and on for like almost an hour, nigga. It's been an hour. Nobody has said nothing in the comment section. I know it's glitching now. I know this shit is glitching. The crickets are out right now, man. Or the frogs. The frogs are out. That's a frog. Even though we don't even see no frogs around here, but you can hear them. But you never see frogs. It's like you feel like you're forgotten about. You know what I'm saying? You're invisible to a lot of young females as you age. It gets old. As you get older, it gets worse. I hate to be gloom and doom, but this is reality. That's why I'm trying to chase that bag, man, so I can still be able to attract young, hot females, man. Nobody wants to be forgotten about. Nobody wants to grow old and die alone, man. Nobody saying nothing in the chat room? Really? I'm gonna start this live over, man. I think I'm gonna start it over because I don't see nobody in the chat room. Nobody ain't saying nothing. I don't even have any likes. Now, Little Seven was working tonight. Is she up in there? That's the guy that got with her. He up in there. So Little Seven is probably still up in there. I probably didn't see her. She probably was on her break or something. Yeah, I'm gonna start this live over, man. Cause I ain't getting I should have been started it over. Cause I don't see nobody. Yeah, Little Seven's still up in there. Little Seven's still up in there. I thought she didn't work tonight. I'm gonna start this live over for a little bit. Cause I don't see nobody in the comment section. I don't see nobody in the chat room. It's gotta be glitching. I'll be back on. I'm gonna start this live over for only 20 minutes though. Cause I gotta get some sleep. You guys have a good night. I'll be back on. Cause I don't see nobody in the chat room, man, saying nothing. Usually I have motherfuckers like, yeah, Kill Cat, man, you right, bro. They stop checking for you after a certain age, man. You become forgotten about. You do. You become forgotten about, man. And it sucks that you're invisible to like some women. Not all of them. I can say like all women are, you're invisible to all women. When you get to be 45, you're invisible. No, not to all of them, but certain ones. Like women with big booties, you are invisible to them. Women with big booties got their options out here, bro. That's why you can't, it's hard to get them. They got their options. Women with nice big behinds are on high demand, even if they're fat, okay? Okay, so I'm gonna end this live and I'm gonna get back on and I wanna see some comments about what I just talked about. Okay, I'll be back on.